Stay. Stay. There we go. Great, now I'm going to have to move this back. There we go, how's that? Hey, nobody is live right now, but I bet you somebody will come back and rewatch this. Some of this stuff is kind of a mess in here. This is going to be my Beach Boys vinyl collection, which I've been meaning to do for a while. Usually I shoot those recorded, but I'm going to do it live because I think that will be easy to upload. So let's go ahead and shoot the Beach Boys vinyl collection live. Alright, let's see what we got first. I really got into the Beach Boys starting with their album Pet Sounds, and then in the summer of 2021 I listened to all their albums, and I mean like all their albums, and I bought most of them, but these are all the ones that I have. We're going to start with, I don't have their first album, Surfin' Safari. Maybe I'll get it sometime down the road, but it's not one of my favorites. What I do like is this one here, Surfin' USA. Here's the back cover. This is on the Capitol Rainbow logo or label. As you can see, this is kind of a rare copy because if you look carefully there, Surfin' USA is credited solely to Brian Wilson, not to Chuck Berry. So this is a very first pressing of Surfin' USA. And this is in mono. Most of my Beach Boys albums are in mono. Not very many in stereo. Surfin' USA. Alright. And we got the next Beach Boys album, Surfer Girl. This is a really good album. Unfortunately, this album... Fortunately, this album is not in extremely good condition. It still plays all the way through, but it's got a few scratches and some of the songs are a little rough. But it's still a good playing copy. It's also on the Rainbow label, Capitol Records, in mono. This is a really good album. I think In My Room is probably my favorite on here. Oh, the Little Deuce Coupe is also really good. It's going to be Surfer Girl. Alright, next. Little Deuce Coupe. Probably my least favorite of the early Beach Boys albums. I got this for $5 at a Half Price Books, and it's got the shrink wrap and the original hype sticker on, so that's cool. This is a very loose concept record. All the songs on here are about cars, other than Be True to Your School. Which, Be True to Your School is probably the only reason I own this album. Other than that, you can find some of the car songs on other albums, like 409 you can hear on their debut. Car Club you can hear on Surfer Girl. A Young Man Is Gone is a cool song, though. It's an a cappella song. This is kind of when the Beach Boys started singing about cars and not so much about surfing, because here's their next album, Shutdown Volume 2, which is another car album. Although not all the songs are about cars, but most of them are. Fun, Fun, Fun is really great. My favorite on here is probably Don't Worry, Baby. Why Do Fools Fall in Love is a good cover. Warmth of the Sun is great. Pretty cool cover of Louie Louie. It's an alright record. Next, we have probably my favorite early Beach Boy album, All Summer Long. Here's the guys on the back. Oh, I forgot to mention that last one was also mono, Capitol Rainbow label. This is mono, Capitol Rainbow. And if you look here at the top, right about, let's see, where is it? Right under Wendy, it says, Don't Break Down, but the song is actually called Don't Back Down, so it's a misprint. This one has some really good songs on it. I Get Around probably being the best of them. All Summer Long is good. Little Honda. We'll Run Away is kind of Brian's first serious song. very, very much shadowing what you'd hear on Pet Sounds later on. Windy, that one's good. Girls on the Beach is like this really musically complex song with like a million key changes in it. And then there's just kind of some goofy songs on here that are just summer fun, like The Drive-In. That's probably my favorite of the early Beach Boys albums. Next, I'm going to have to reach up here because I was playing this earlier this week. We have the Beach Boys Christmas album. 'Tis the Season. This has some originals like Little Saint Nick, The Man with All the Toys. Santa's Beard is kind of a goofy song about a kid who goes to the mall. It's like, is that the real Santa? He pulls his beard off. And he's like, oh, he's just helping Santa. I like the traditional Christmas songs on here, though. Like We Three Kings, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, I'll Be Home for Christmas. It's a pretty good Christmas album. Not my favorite Christmas album, but it's pretty good. And now we get to the Beach Boys mid-period, which is probably my favorite of their, or I don't know if I'd say my favorite. They have so many different phases that are really good, but one of my favorites. This is my third favorite Beach Boys album, Beach Boys Today. This is kind of to Pet Sounds what Rubber Soul is to Sgt. Pepper's. Mono on the Capitol label. The first side, you got some kind of groovy numbers like Do You Want to Dance? Help Me Rhonda. My favorite version of Help Me Rhonda is on this album, Dance, Dance, Dance. It has the amazing When I Grow Up on it. That's a great song. And then you flip it over, and side 2 is basically a little taste of what you're going to get on Pet Sounds later on. Songs like Please Let Me Wonder, I'm So Young, Kiss Me Baby, In the Back of My Mind. Great record. Then we got this album, which is kind of lyrically a step back, but musically a step forward. Summer Days and Summer Nights. Another Mono Capitol album. This has got the amazing California Girls on it. Help Me Rhonda, the single version. I don't like it as much. Girl Don't Tell Me is a great Carl Wilson song. It's got some songs I don't like as much, though, like Amusement Parks USA or Salt Lake City. Some of these Mike Love songs. I don't hate Mike Love. I know he's kind of a jerk to Brian, and is one of the reasons that they didn't move forward. But I don't hate the guy. Some people really absolutely just hate Mike Love, and there's really no reason to hate the guy, even though he kind of stalled Smile, which I'm not going to get over. But Let 'Em Run Wild, that's a good one. And Your Dream Comes True, that's a cool way to close the album. Next, we're going to get to my favorite Beach Boys album. Rock with Buddy Holly. No. That's just what I'm keeping this in. It's really Pet Sounds, because I have the Pet Sounds album cover hanging up there. But that's my favorite. So much that's already been said about this album that I don't need to say. It's my favorite Beach Boys album. It's so good. First Beach Boys album I ever got on record. It's amazing. If you haven't listened to Pet Sounds, definitely go give a listen to that. God Only Knows, one of the greatest songs ever. Wouldn't It Be Nice? That's another great one. Just so many good ones. You Still Believe in Me. I Just Wasn't Made for These Times. Caroline No. Just a lot of great songs on that one. My third favorite album of all time. Next, we're going to get to, this is Smile. It was released in 2011. It's very hard to find. Cost me a pretty penny for this one. It's a 2011 copy. This is basically what Smile would sound like had it been released in 1967. It's got sessions that Brian went in and spliced together to kind of recreate the Smile album for you. Really good. Probably my second favorite Beach Boys album after Pet Sounds. It's definitely a trip hearing it on vinyl, too. Making it hear like... Not originally released. Instead, we got this one right here. Smiley Smile. Not my favorite. Big step down from the actual Smile. All of the songs on here, all of the versions on Smile are better. Except, I like Heroes and Villains. Heroes and Villains is a great song. And Good Vibrations is my favorite Beach Boys song of all time. So two really good songs and then a bunch of really weird stuff. Vegetables is cool on Smile, but the version on here sounds like a stupid campfire song. Fall Breaks Back to Winter, the Woody Woodpecker Symphony. What are you thinking? That's kind of a dumbed down version of Mrs. O'Leary's Cow on Smile, which is fire and the elements. On Smile, there's like the elements earth, wind, fire, and water. And they kind of dumbed down the fire song for this Woody Woodpecker Symphony and added some which is the Woody Woodpecker theme. She's Going Bald is one of the weirdest Beach Boys songs. It uses like tape manipulation to make them sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks at one part. Good Vibrations is definitely the best song on here. Wind Chimes is creepy on this version. The Smile version is really relaxing. The Smiley Smile version of Wind Chimes is just creepy. And then it like gets really quiet where you can't hear it. And then it gets to Getting Hungry, which is really loud, so that kind of scares you a little bit. And then the version of Wonderful on here is really weird too. And then the last song is called Whistle In, which I think is funny because it's like the Whistlin' Wilsons. But this is a rare version on the Capitol label. Most of them are on Brother Records. This is the Capitol Record Club version, which the only downside... Oh, there's dogs. The only downside is that because it's on this label, it's fake stereo, and it doesn't sound very good, but if I want to listen to my preferred version of this album, I'll listen to Smile, and not Smiley Smile. Alright, what we got next? Wild Honey! This is what I can best describe as a psychedelic soul album, which sounds really weird. That's going to be part 1. I'm going to have to be back. But I'll be back later for part 2.